Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cams rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. Today is Friday, and I've been trying to get a couple of these guys in from the EMCID board for a while, and finally they found some time because they're busy people to come in. I've got Brenda Webb in here today, and she is the board chairman and has been for quite a long time. She's running for her 4th term, and that's why she's in today. Talk about what she does and how she helps to serve the community and make things better for us here in East Montgomery County. Good afternoon. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Hank?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Well, we had a chance to chat a little bit about what's going on with EMCID and all that. And I really wanted to start with how you guys are funded, because I think that some of the members of our community think that your funding comes from property tax money.
Correct.
And it doesn't. So
It does
where does
not.
it come from, and how are you guys funded, and how do y'all work that out?
Well, to give you a little bit of history, the reason the Improvement District was formed to begin with, back in 1996, I believe.
97.
97,
Yeah.
the city of Houston annexed Kingwood.
Yeah, I remember.
And the city of Houston's ETJ runs up to Roman Forest Boulevard
Does it
in
really?
East Montgomery County, yes.
I didn't know their ETJ stuck out that far.
Yes. So we are in their ETJ.
Tentacles.
When they annexed Kingwood, a group of citizens here got together with the chamber and decided, what can we do to stop that, because we did not want the city taking over New Caney and Porter.
Right.
They went through legislation. It was a lot of work. It took a long time. There was a lot of opposition. They were allowed to put it together and put it to the vote of the citizens to allow, once the Improvement District was approved to be formed,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be put to a vote to the citizens to allow the Improvement District to collect the sales tax,
Okay.
to collect a percentage of the sales tax.
Okay. So y'all get a percentage of
We-
the sales tax
That is correct.
for the East Montgomery County area.
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Our boundaries are the New Caney ISD and Splendora ISD.
Okay. So whatever's in that footprint is where you guys can collect taxes
That is
from.
correct. And it's basically 1.5 cents of every dollar.
Okay.
So the citizens approved it,
Okay.
and the Improvement District was created and formed, and the revenue that is received comes strictly from sales tax.
Okay. And so since the Improvement District was put together, that kept Houston from being able to annex.
They still can annex,
Okay.
but because we collect the sales tax, there's no incentive for them to annex.
So you remove their financial incentive.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
very smart.
Yeah.
It was very smart for them
Yeah.
to put that together.
And you got to keep in mind, and I think sometimes people lose perspective of this also. Back in 97, this was all, and I hate to use the term, but all kind of podunk.
It was.
You know, back in 94, all where I live here off Tram Road was all dirt roads.
Yes.
I mean, and there was a lot of forest out here. There wasn't a lot of residences and not a lot of business.
Correct.
So
And
it
I will
took a
tell
lot
you-
to get this where it is now.
Absolutely. And the president and CEO, as you know, is Frank McCrady.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that the Interstate 59 or 69 is the last corridor coming out of the city of Houston to be developed.
Mm-hmm.
Growth is going to happen, change is going to happen with or without the influence of the Improvement District.
Right.
But the areas that the Improvement District is involved, such as Valley Ranch, there are parameters that are put in place as to what can and cannot go in there.
Okay.
And because Porter and New Caney they're not cities, they are unincorporated areas of Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
Within our boundaries, though, we do have City of Roman Forest, Splendora, Wood Branch, and Patton Village.
Okay.
They have their own parameters in place. Aside and apart from that, within our 158 square mile boundary, the rest of it is unincorporated.
Okay.
There are basically no restrictions.
Right.
You can clearly see the areas where the Improvement District has influence,
Mm-hmm.
where we have brought the development, done everything that we've done. You can clearly see the difference. And the growth is going to happen, like I said, with or without it. It's coming.
Oh, yeah, you can't
The
stop it.
question is,
Yeah.
do you want positive growth like you see at Valley Ranch, or do you want the other areas that you see?
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing can be done about it if there are no requirements, there are no parameters put in place to prevent those things from happening. There's no way to stop it.
Right. Yeah, and I want something that's well managed and
Absolutely.
planned.
Absolutely.
You know, so, and I think that through the research that I've done and getting to know all you guys and talking about development, it appears to me like you guys really have a mind of forethought. In other words, you're thinking about how things are going to be in 5, 10, and 15 years. And that's important, you know, especially here because we have other issues too. We have infrastructure issues, we have drainage issues, and I know you guys don't particularly manage that, but you do help the commissioners and things like that to manage those things.
And I will tell you, the board is made up of 8 individuals who they all have something to offer to begin with, but we are such a diverse group that it's wonderful, largely made up of business owners.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a head for business and you know, it's easier to look ahead and see what to expect, because for your business you're always planning.
Sure.
And it helps to have that mindset to know that, okay, well, this is for today. What about tomorrow? What about 10 years from now? It does make a difference. And it's an asset. I will tell you it's an asset because the people that I work with are nothing short of amazing. We don't always agree, but the one thing we all do is listen.
A board's not supposed to agree all the time.
That's
right.
right.
You need diversity.
That's
so
right.
That's
and we
important.
respect each other. You don't have to, for me, as the chairman, you don't have to like each other, but this is not about us.
Right.
When we are together, you respect each other, and you listen to, for me, you listen to all sides, because even with me, there's been so many times when in my mind, what I thought was correct, that was the best way. But when you hear someone else's view and someone else's opinion, you have to have the mindset to be able to hear it.
Yeah, you got to be
grasp
open-minded. Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
open-minded, and be able to change it. And I can't tell you how many times I've changed my mind just listening to someone else. I think it's important. I think that's really important, and I think it causes. You probably don't know this. Our board, we go through training.
Mm-hmm.
We have go through leadership training, and we just to make sure we have a healthy board. So
it's a good idea.
It is. We've done that. There's a group that comes in and it does we do team
I reside
building.
on a board that has absolutely no training, so I understand.
Yeah. Well, we do team building, and because we do
That's
have to
good,
work
yeah.
together. But at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about our community, what's best for our community. And as board members, we also live here. We also work here, and we are also taxpayers here. So it's easy to make decisions based on what's best for us as taxpayers.
And it's a tremendous responsibility too.
It is.
You know, because you've got a lot of businesses that rely on you guys. You've got a lot of residences that rely on you guys. A lot of external forces out there. So I mean, it's it's got to be tough.
And going back to the infrastructure, yes, we are not involved in infrastructure, but we do partner with the chamber. Well, with the chamber, yes, but we also partner with the commissioner's office, and we're working on several projects. As a matter of fact, yesterday at our board meeting, we partnered with the commissioner's office, Matt Gray, and we gave them $219,000 for a water recycling system for the splash pad that is at Bull Solis Park.
Okay.
That splash pad was installed, and there was no water recycling system, and unfortunately, millions of gallons of water went to the ground and were just just gone.
And so this new recycling system will stop that.
Yes.
Because it's basically catchment and treated and then put back out.
Absolutely.
Kind of like a swimming pool, I guess.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, the 2 splash pads that the Improvement District has funded and put in, one in the city of Splendora and one in Roman Forest, water recycling systems were also included in those.
Yeah. Now, I've seen the one in Roman Forest, but I haven't seen the one, unfortunately, in Splendora.
Well, it's nice. It's as nice as the one in Roman Forest.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same... it's got a few different things on it, but basically it's the same.
Yeah, they seem pretty cool, and I think it's great for the community to have a place to go.
It is. When we put those in, both Roman Forest and Splendora said they would provide the water and they would do the maintenance and upkeep, and we told them that that would be great. We would put them there, but that we would require two things. Number one, it must be free.
Okay.
They cannot charge anybody.
That's great.
It's funded by taxpayer dollars, and it's available to the taxpayers, to the community. Number two, even though it's in those cities, it is open to everybody in the community.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you have to be a resident in a certain area or in HOAs,
Yeah, to be able to go to their pool
but
and all that.
that does not apply to these splash pads.
Well, that's cool, and I didn't know that.
Yep.
So that's great. So if you live in East County, you can go visit any
Absolutely.
of these 3 splash pads.
Well, the
when
one in
they're
Bull
open.
Solace Park, we didn't have anything to do with that when the county put that one
Oh,
in.
okay.
Now, we
Yeah.
do have a third one planned. It is part of the plan for Valley Ranch.
Okay.
As they go and expand, they were planning on doing a park, and we plan on doing a splash pad in that area.
Do you know where the
area.
park will be?
I don't know. I know it's in their master plan. It's Danny. You could contact Danny Signorelli, and he
Yeah.
can certainly tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Signorelli's
it's
done a
definitely-
lot out here.
Danny
My
Signorelli
God.
has done an amazing job.
Yeah. You know, I was talking with Fred Wetz a while back, and he was telling me, he said, Hank, he said, one day we went over there when they had cleared all that area out there,
Right.
and it was strange how far you could see when before it was just community drive,
Yes, I know.
you know?
I know.
I had pictures of the old bridge and
Yes.
everything, so right before they took it out.
Right.
So did you ever think it would turn out looking the way it looks now?
Absolutely not.
All of East County.
Absolutely
You know?
not. And along those lines, I would like to tell you something. The 15th of April, which is Monday,
Mhm.
that was the day we broke ground on Valley Ranch. I was chairman. I had
Wow.
just become chairman. But what was unknown to anybody, it was unknown to me.
Mm-hmm.
We were breaking ground that day. But that project actually started in 2008.
Okay.
That's how long it took to get from discussing it, moving forward, putting all the plans together, doing everything, to groundbreaking, 2008 to 2015.
Wow, that's a good long time.
So it doesn't happen overnight. It does. I did not know that. When I ran for this board, I had no clue. I have become well educated.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah. You learn a lot doing stuff like
Yes.
that.
And so now it is what you see today.
Yeah.
The first one that went in was Academy. That was the first store. But now you see what you see today.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's new stuff being built out there. We were
is.
there today, and I was like, I wonder what that's going to be. And it's always cool. I don't want to know. Everybody says, don't you want to know? I'm like, no, wait till they open. You know?
Well, they eventually will put up signs, and I'll tell you this: when whoever it is that's putting in their whatever their development is, they don't want you to know. They'll go and pull permits, and they do that on purpose. They do not want it released until they are ready to release it, and they want to be the ones to release it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And unfortunately, a lot of times it's found out in different ways, and it's announced to the community, "Hey, this is coming."
Yeah, and people start putting it on Facebook and such.
We
yeah.
have had issues in the past of developers wanting to pull their projects because the information was released, but it wasn't released by the board or the improvement district. When
Right.
it becomes public record, it becomes public record.
Mm-hmm.
And but whoever it is that's putting it in, they don't want it released until they are ready to release it. We can't stop it,
Yeah,
but it could absolutely cause a project not to happen.
that would suck.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What's your favorite thing that EMCID does? I mean, y'all do a lot of good stuff for the community. I know
We do.
because I've kind of experienced a lot of it and been there and seen a lot of it happen.
Right.
But what's your favorite thing? Would it be scholarships? Would it be grants?
I was going to say both of
It's
them.
all. It's. You know, the first time I went to an EMCID meeting, y'all had given a lawnmower to a church, a big check to somebody. The fire department got a check. There was a lot going on. I thought to myself, damn, this is like Christmas.
Right.
It's like
and
being
it is.
Santa.
It is.
You know?
It really is.
So it's a good feeling being able to give, almost better than to receive. And I was thinking these people they've got to be great for this. You know, just feel good.
The needs are always different. We actually, I don't know if you know this, we bought an airboat for the first responders for Swift Water Rescue.
Okay.
And it's for
Yeah.
all of the first responders for Swift Water Rescue.
Yeah.
We have outfitted. I'm sure they probably need to be replaced, but we have outfitted, if not all of the police agencies out here, most of them, with body cams.
Body cams.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know Roman Forest has some
Yes,
pretty
they
neat
do.
body cams.
As a
'cause
matter of fact,
I've had to work on some of those.
Constable Hayden had asked for a certain number, and it was only going to provide body cameras for probably 3/4 of his of the officers,
Mm-hmm.
and we went ahead and funded all of them because how are you going to choose who not to give one to?
I know.
So the board is absolutely pro law enforcement.
Right.
All first responders.
Yeah, and I
So
know y'all
pro
have
that.
this Safe Shopper program too that
We
you
do.
run during. Is it only during the Christmas season now, or
It runs right after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It starts, or I'm sorry, right before Thanksgiving, and it runs until mid-January.
okay?
And we provide funds for extra police presence in all of the shopping areas. They are not there to catch shoplifters in the stores. They have their own people for that.
Mhm.
But this is for the safety in the parking lots. And it has grown each year, and that has been one of the best programs.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that, like, when my kids go, when my grandkids go shopping, that I know that there's a police presence that they may not see.
Right.
But there's law enforcement walking. They're on foot. They're on bikes. They're on horseback. They're in patrol cars. I did a ride along this year during the Safe Shopper program. And one of the things that really impressed me about the officer that I was with, it was a canine unit that I rode with. And they get calls. But one of the things that really stood out to me, and I know that Constable Hayden is the one who has really impressed this on his officers, they are so empathetic with the community. When they pull
Sure.
somebody over, it's not just to give them a ticket or to try to take them to jail. And there was one officer, that the one I was with, that made sure that the person, unfortunately they were going to have to tow the car,
Mm-hmm.
but he had the tow truck to tow it to the man's house.
Well, that's cool.
It was amazing.
That never happens.
No. And, kudos
That's pretty good.
Kudos
Yeah.
to Rowdy, because great job, and great job to his officers.
Yeah.
They do a tremendous job. And along those lines, we do a law enforcement appreciation banquet every year.
Yep. I attend.
Every
I think
policing-
I've attended 5 in a row now,
Yes,
so it's been a
yes.
bunch.
Every policing agency, those heads of those departments, the chiefs or whoever's, the sheriffs, whoever, nominates one individual officer. They are recognized. There is an award presented, and a dinner for law
Yeah,
enforcement.
and you'll have great guest speakers at those too.
We do. And I don't know of
Yeah.
any other agency, any other community that does that. But going back to my favorite thing, besides the grants, because we do give grants to nonprofits,
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones that I really am really proud to do is that Project Mammogram. The
Okay.
Improvement District funds $5,000 to Memorial Hermann Northeast,
Okay.
and any man or woman that lives in our boundaries can go there and get a mammogram for free.
So do you have to have a form or something, or
They
just
have to show their identification
Okay.
that has their address on it, and they keep track. That's how they deduct from the funds we give them.
wow?
That is one that's really good. There's just so many. Yesterday we had 20 applicants for $5,000 grants each. Those those grants will be approved at our next board meeting next month,
Mhm.
and then the checks will be presented the following month.
Wow.
And then we'll have another grant cycle in the fall, and any
Okay.
nonprofit that is in the 158 square miles of our boundaries is eligible. They just need to apply for the money.
Okay.
The
Is
other-
that just 501c3s or C10s or
Yeah,
can-
501c3s.
Okay.
Yes. The other passion of mine is definitely our scholarships.
yeah.
We give $1,600 to every graduating senior from the 4 high schools, or if they get their GED, or if they're homeschooled.
Man, I bet that number is growing fast out here now.
Thankfully, it is. The number has been so low. It is, but we've grown. The schools have grown. The population has absolutely grown.
Yeah,
But
explosion.
it's $1,600 to any college, university, trade school, or Lone Star College, wherever they want to go.
Mhm.
If they choose to go to Lone Star College, it'll pay for their first full year.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's a
I don't
pretty good
know
deal.
any other place that gives,
Yeah, nobody else does
and
that.
you don't have to do anything. Just get the money.
Yeah, just graduate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about GEDs?
Absolutely.
Really? Wow.
The good thing on the GED side is if you reside in this area
Mm-hmm.
and you get a GED as an adult, you're eligible for that scholarship.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It is.
I like
I don't
that.
know anybody
Yeah.
else that does that. we have an industrial park, and we have, with all the businesses that are in the park, one of the things that we do is at closing, whatever we sell the property for, they're to bring half of it to closing.
Okay.
The other half, they are to deposit into the Scholarship Foundation, typically over a 5-year period. But in doing so, they are investing in our community and in education. They're also required, if we do this, they're required that at least one half of their workforce must be from East Montgomery County. So we create jobs for our own.
Right, and education as well.
That's
really pretty cool. Yeah.
It is. This has become my passion, and I have said that this is the hardest non-paying job I will ever do, but it is certainly the most rewarding.
Oh, I bet.
Absolutely.
I bet it's been frustrating from time to time too, though.
But it is. But I will tell you that I think the benefits just outweigh the frustration.
Yeah.
Because I know the value that the Improvement District has in this community.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine what it would be like if it had not ever existed. It would be like...
Yeah, I wonder where we'd be.
It's a good question.
Because it would just be scattered, weird growth, I think.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be like it is now with, for instance, Valley Ranch. When my kids were in school and they wanted to work, they would have to go to Humble to get a job.
Yeah.
And then if they worked into Ninth...
Or Cleveland.
Either way.
Yeah.
Now they can work in their own backyard and be home in no time. It's so much safer.
Yeah.
So it is just, there's so many benefits to, and like I said, even when I'm no longer on the board, I will still be involved in some aspect with the Improvement District. I don't know how, but I just know I will be.
Yeah.
Because I just know that everything that we do is good. We have such a good board. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy being a board, and it is so time consuming. I thought it would just be one meeting a month
No, if you're actually doing something, it's time consuming. It'll soak it.
It'll probably take up 90% of my time, even during tax season. 90%
I'm sure.
of my time.
Yeah.
But it is very rewarding, and it's very beneficial to the community. That's the reward.
Yeah, and I do the hurricane preparedness thing every
Yes.
year, and you guys have helped me out a lot with that. I really appreciate it. And I think that's an important service to the community as well.
Absolutely.
And so, those are all great things.
It is.
So let's talk about voting a little bit. So this election, is it separate than the other election?
Yes.
So it won't be on the 4th or 5th?
No. It does not run typically with the primary of any kind.
Okay.
Through our legislation, the election this year will be May 4th.
Okay.
So we are separate and apart. We are formed as a special purpose district along with water districts. So it's the same concept as a water district.
Okay.
So May 4th will be our election. We have 4 board members up for re-election. I am up for re-election. Catherine Pearson, Dr. Catherine Pearson, Fred Wetz, and Ron Willingham. We are so May 4th, I would encourage the voters to go out and vote, even if we don't have an opponent. I encourage you to still vote.
Absolutely. So where are the voting locations? Have they been determined yet?
The early voting, from what I understand, will be at Bull Solace Park.
Okay.
And then one at the community center on Creekwood, the old YMCA.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Those will be the 2 early
time.
voting. Early voting begins, I want to say the 20th, but
I think it's the 20th.
Yeah, the 20th. That's on Saturday. That's when early voting begins.
Okay.
And then election is on May 4th.
Wow.
And we are here for the community. The Improvement District is here for the community. We're always open for questions. The board is always open for questions. The only thing we cannot talk about is what we discuss in executive session.
Right.
Anything you could want to at least begin to learn it, go to the website. It's absolutely there. We try to inform the public about everything we do. We have the Insider, the newsletter.
Yeah, I like the Insider. It's pretty cool.
It's very informative.
Yeah, and just to mention, there's a whole page dedicated to Matt Gray on the Insider. And he's been great and really transparent about putting forth information. As a matter of fact, he's going to be having an update coming up, I think on the 17th.
That is correct.
At the community room.
Yes, that is correct.
So,
as a matter of fact, of course, he's got a Facebook page. Not everybody's on Facebook.
Right.
But our newsletter goes to every single home in the area.
Okay.
And so this is a way for the commissioner to be able to reach out and inform the public as well
Yeah.
of what's going on in the area, what his office has done. So that was set up so that he could be able to inform the public and keep them aware, just like we do, of our projects and our different things. The improvement district set it up many years ago, and it was from the original board members, some of the original board members. But at the county fair, when all of the everything goes to auction, whether it's an animal or it's all the different projects, they have cakes, candy, whatever the projects may be. We add 10% to every single sale. So
Okay,
whatever
that's
they
cool.
sell
Yeah.
for, the improvement district tax on 10%. We add on 10%. It was 5%. We raised it to 10%, and that basically pays for the child's entry fees. Because if not, that money would be brought back from whatever their winnings are, whatever it sells for. So that's another way to give back to the community. One thing I did want to touch on that many people may not be aware of, there are a lot of things that the improvement district does that go unnoticed and unknown. We had a company that was going to be coming into our industrial park. It's a catering company. And they were going to be moving actually from Humble into our industrial park. And then Hurricane Harvey hit in August. And because of the mass destruction, all of their engagements canceled.
Oh, that's great.
They had all the food bought, and
Oh,
all
wow.
the food was they were going to lose it.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
And now they're not going to be able to come to the industrial park. They're going to be shut down. The improvement district purchased all of the food.
Okay.
The catering company started making meals, hot meals, and for 6 months, they delivered lunch and dinner to all of the areas in East Montgomery County that were rebuilding.
Okay.
So every place that flooded, it was a different section every day, but for 6 months, we fed the community.
That's cool.
Not everybody knows that, but that is
Yeah,
other
see,
ways.
I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that is just
Yeah.
other ways that things are done. There's a lot of things that are done that do go unnoticed. And that's just an example.
Yeah, I know y'all have done a lot of things that haven't been publicized.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And that's just one of them.
But does it make you feel like Santa Claus when you get to do it?
It is the best feeling.
Yeah.
It really is the best feeling, knowing that you're contributing, you're giving back, because I think everybody should serve their community in some form or another. Go to the schools and volunteer. Go to the library and read to the kids.
Sure.
Do something. Everybody needs to give back, and everybody has a talent. Everybody has something that they can do to contribute. And my talent is not what yours is. And it's the same way with everybody. But everybody should, aside and apart from their employment, absolutely should serve their community.
Yeah, get involved.
I think absolutely get involved. You can't make changes. But even more so than getting involved, get educated. Get educated on all the different things that go on in the community and how they work, how the commissioner's office works,
Right.
how the justice of the peace office works, how the improvement district works. Get educated. That's the most important thing, because aside and apart from that, anything that is said or done that is not true is very damaging to everybody.
Sure.
And
it hurts reputations
it
individually and as
It
a
does.
whole. So, yeah,
It does.
that's not a good thing.
It is important, number one, to vote. Absolutely make your voice heard.
Right.
That's the way that it works.
Yeah.
So make your voice heard and get involved.
And how many board members are there altogether?
8.
So there's 8 board members.
Right. And we have staggered terms of 2. We serve a 4-year term, and we have staggered elections every 2 years. So it is truly a service from the heart.
Right.
Truly a service
Isn't
from
it
the
interesting how the unpaid deals always end up with the most work?
But
Yeah,
it's
I've
so
noticed that.
rewarding. It really is so rewarding.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. This is something I never thought I would do, because, believe it or not, before I was on the board, I was very shy, and I would never have spoken in public.
Really? Because you do great
Yes.
at the bench. I've seen you.
Thank
Yeah, you do
Yeah,
awesome.
I would never have. It made me grow.
Yeah, things like that
So-
certainly will.
It did.
So, well, I want to thank you for your service to the community.
you.
I think you've done really well. I think EMCID's done really well.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing what we got going on in the future. You know, I'm concerned about certain aspects of Montgomery County, not just East County, but Montgomery County.
Yes.
Infrastructure is one of those. But we're in our adolescence of growth, and we're just going to have to trudge through and see those growing pains.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I have concerns about water, whether it's groundwater or surface water or a combination of both, and where we're going to end up with that.
Yes.
I also have concerns about community involvement with individuals, because I think that a lot of people are gung-ho about wanting to make change, but they don't think about the proper way to go about doing that. There's a good way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. The wrong way is getting on Facebook and starting to,
Yes. Yes.
and the right way to do it is go to commissioner's court, go to your city council meetings, go to the EMCID meetings, get involved, learn what you can, and try to be a positive part of, even if it's a small part, a positive part of something.
All the parts, every little, no matter how small it is, it's all important. One thing I do want to say before we close is
Okay.
The Improvement District purchased 65 acres of land on 1485 West at Gene Campbell.
Okay,
And
that's close.
it is.
Yeah.
And to make a park for the community. We are working on getting into contract an additional 40 acres, and we have identified an additional 100 acres. We hired a architect because we don't know anything about making parks.
Right.
So we hired an architect, and they're working on the plans, and it will happen in phases, but there will be a park for the community, approximately 200 acres if we're able to acquire the
That's a
additional
good
100
sized
acres.
park. Yeah,
There
that'd be
will
great.
be hike and bike trails. There will be bicycle trails,
Mm-hmm.
walking trails, a dog park, which is so needed out here. I see that
Yeah.
on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
We need a dog park. Yes, we do, and we have one coming.
Yeah, that's great. I got
So,
2 dogs too, so
yeah.
that'd be awesome.
And the good thing is the area it's in is in a flood zone, and you can't build anything on it. So will you keep all of the natural resources that are there and be able to utilize that space for park space?
Okay.
And then when it floods, then it goes down and we clean it up and it's back to being a park.
Yeah, mow it and go for it again.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm average voter guy,
Yes.
and I'm thinking about voting for you. So do you have a website? Do you have Facebook? Do
I
you
have a
any of that kind of
Facebook
stuff?
page.
Okay.
Brenda Webb, chairman, EMCID. I think I'm chairman, position 1, EMCID. But
Okay.
it's Brenda Webb, chairman, EMCID.
Okay, fantastic.
Absolutely. And I would appreciate anybody's vote,
Okay.
everybody's vote.
Sounds good. Well, once again, we appreciate everything you guys do, and I know y'all work really hard for us. So, and that park, by the way, y'all are going to name that Hank Vat Park, right?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I thought. The Studio 13 Park.
We'll let you know.
yeah, fat chance on that one. All right, Brenda. Well, I appreciate you coming in and talking to me. I've had a good time with you today,
Me as
and I've learned a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that MCID does that I was unaware of too, and I didn't know, like on the GED thing, I didn't know that scholarships were available to those
Absolutely.
people. I'm one of those GED recipients, actually.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny thing. We'll get into that story later on.
Well, thank you for having me, Hank. I really appreciate being able to speak to you. And if there's ever any questions, and as we've had that conversation many
Sure.
times privately,
Yeah.
anytime you have questions, reach out to me or to any other board members, or even to the Improvement District.
Yeah, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Brenda Webb. She's running for her 4th term. She's done a great job so far. You can check her record, actually. Make some calls, get some information. But the important thing is go vote. And even with these candidates that are unopposed, make sure and vote for those guys. It's important. You don't want to just pass them up. You want your voice to be heard, and that's one of the best ways to do it. Be a part of the community. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Don't know who I got upcoming next, but you never know what's going to come out of Hank's Think Tank. It could be music, it could be politics, it could be anything. So see you guys later, and take care. We're out.
Thank you.